After a rough start to kick off the season, the Lakers are now 7-2 over their last 9 games, and they've got everything firing on all cylinders behind Anthony Davis's monstrous stretch of stellar games. In their most recent game against the Milwaukee Bucks, he recorded 44 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks on 66.7% shooting from the field and 2 of 3 shooting from 3, helping the Lakers come out on top against the Bucks' elite defense. His whole season so far has inspired a lot of confidence that the Lakers have the quote-unquote old Anthony Davis back. The Lakers are really starting to pick up steam behind his all-NBA level of play. The Lakers currently have the 5th best offense, 6th best defense, and the 4th best net rating over the last 9 games. Not only are the Lakers looking like a competent team, but they're looking like a truly competitive playoff team now, and it's due in large part to Anthony Davis reaching this next level. For as good of a perimeter player Anthony Davis is for a guy of his height, he's been playing significantly more on the interior and operating as more of what you'd expect from a more traditional big man this season. He's been a little bit all over the place throughout his tenure with the Lakers in terms of the positions he's playing. During his first 2 seasons in LA, he spent the majority of his time at the power forward position, but last year we saw that portion of minutes trend downwards, and then, of course, this year he's spending only 1% of all of his minutes playing power forward and the other 99% playing center. Now, in theory, Anthony Davis does bring a lot to the table by putting him at the power forward position, but there's a couple of problems with having him spend the majority of his time there. One, you're losing some of the interior defense that he provides by having him spend more time guarding the wing. The Lakers don't have a true defensive-oriented center that can anchor the defense if you put Anthony Davis at the 4, so they're using him as a center on the defensive end, and it's working really well. And 2, a somewhat difficult truth is that Anthony Davis isn't really the floor stretcher that he used to be, so he's not going to offer the level of spacing that he used to, which is obviously what you need when you're in a LeBron James or Russell Westbrook type of system that's predicated heavily on getting downhill and driving and kicking out to the perimeter. So what the Lakers have been doing to address these 2 issues is playing him predominantly at center, where you're getting all of the best parts of his game while cutting back on all of the areas that might be lacking a little bit at this point in his career. He's been running a ton of pick and roll this season, and one thing that he's been doing that I've really enjoyed watching is how much he's slipping screens in the pick and roll, slipping this one as Austin Reaves gets to the nail. Reaves fakes the mid-range jumper, and with Anthony Davis rolling, the defense is clueless when Reaves finds him in the paint for the easy finish. Here, the Pacers are going to be hedging against the pick and roll, and being aware of this, Anthony Davis slips the screen when Turner hedges against Westbrook, which leaves Westbrook an easy pass to AD on the roll for the finish. Overall, his screening is incredibly important to their offense, and it really increases the effectiveness of their pick and rolls by putting the defense at a disadvantage as early as possible in the action. If he sets a weak screen on this play, Richardson would just be able to dodge the screen and stay on Austin Reaves. But since Davis sets such a strong screen, it forces Jang to angle his body in the drop coverage more towards Austin Reaves instead of Anthony Davis, which allows Reaves to just toss it up to AD for the finish. But also, if we rewind a little bit, you can see that Lonnie Walker also clears the right side wing with his cut, removing help defense being able to slide over on AD's roll. I also want to point out how Anthony Davis tailors his speed to maximize their pick and roll attack. He's not just immediately going downhill on the roll. The Bucks run a ton of drop coverage, meaning that Lopez is going to be hanging back in the paint. So AD sets the screen, but instead of just rolling immediately, AD is going to hang back and let LeBron get downhill a little bit, with Holiday slightly trailing and Lopez waiting in the paint to contest any potential shot at the rim. What AD does really well is getting the pass outside of the restricted area, which gives him enough time to build some momentum to get to the rim for the finish. He's been one of the most efficient pick and roll scorers in the NBA this year, putting up 1.33 points per possession in the pick and roll, the 3rd most among players operating as the pick and roll man at least 50 times this season. Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook are proving to be a pretty lethal duo, with AD benefiting a ton from Russell Westbrook's passing ability. Right now, Anthony Davis is averaging 27.6 points per 75 possessions when he's on the floor with Russell Westbrook, and Westbrook Westbrook is averaging 9.1 assists per 75 possessions when he's on the floor with Anthony Davis. The chemistry that these two have developed is doing wonders for making their offense start to click the way that it has. We knew Anthony Davis had chemistry with LeBron, but the fact that AD and Westbrook can run things effectively when LeBron isn't on the floor is huge for them. I also want to point out his slimmed down shot diet because he's taking a career low number of mid-range shots and he's taking the most shots at the rim that he's ever taken in his career while also cutting down on his three-pointers a pretty drastic amount. And a lot of this is a testament to him playing more of a big man role as opposed to a role that's more on the wing. Another potentially less noticeable aspect of his game is the amount of work that he's putting in on the glass and the second chance points that generate as a result of all of these rebounds that he's getting. Not only is he 6th in the league in offensive rebounds, but he currently leads the league in second chance points with 4.9 a game. Not only has Anthony Davis been fantastic on the offensive end, but he's also been playing some fantastic defense, arguably some of the best of his entire career. When Anthony Davis is off the floor, opposing teams are attempting 37.4% of their shots at the rim, but when he's on the floor, that percentage drops down to 32.2%. Having him on the interior is legitimately deterring teams from even attempting shots at the basket, and it's because his shot blocking and interior presence are such a lethal force. Winslow comes and puts up a floater, and Anthony Davis disrupts the potential offensive rebound, but when Sharp gets it in the corner and drives, Anthony Davis tracks him as he gets to the rim, and Davis just swats it out of bounds. Zion has LeBron sealed off for the post-up, and the Pelicans are going to get it to him, but AD comes over from the weak side to suffocate Zion and get the block. Here the Nuggets are pushing the pace in transition, and AD is following Jokic as he comes up the floor. Jokic cuts up the middle to receive a pass in enough space that it looks like he's going to have no problem putting up an easy finish, but AD is following closely behind him to get the easy block. He's been fantastic at baiting opposing players into layups so that he can get easy blocks as well. He's guarding this pick and roll between Jokic and Murray on the right side, and Murray swings it out to Brown on the wing. Brown is going to attack the closeout, but now with Anthony Davis on the weak side, AD is going to fake as if he's committing to guarding Jokic, which makes Brown think that he's got a clear opening to the rim. And once that happens, AD jumps right back into the play and gets the block. The Pelicans run this pin down in the corner, and you can see AD is already prepared for what's going to happen next. Hayes initiates this handoff with CJ, but AD was already privy to what they were going to be doing, so he's waiting for Hayes when he receives the pass, and he prevents an easy layup. Kelly Olynyk drives on him here, and AD does exactly what he's supposed to do, just keeping him on his hip and in front of him, waiting until Olynyk tries to get the shot up before stuffing the ball out of bounds. The big thing with Anthony Davis playing center was everybody was concerned whether or not he was going to be able to be healthy enough to play center and deal with the physicality that comes along with that, but so far, he looks pretty comfortable doing it, and it really seems to be maximizing his defensive ability. He's 4th in the league in blocks at the time of this recording with 2.4 a night, and he's leading the league in rebounds with 12.6 a night. The amount of work that he's putting in for them on the defensive end is the biggest reason that they've been so rock solid on defense. Now, as the story always has been with Anthony Davis, the number one most important thing is that he remains healthy throughout the regular season and throughout the playoffs. But the level of play that he's showing is genuinely the best of his career. The defense, the offense, all of it is reminding people who Anthony Davis is. When he's healthy and playing at this level, he's a superstar. If the Lakers can continue to get some more wins and AD continues to put up the performances that he has, don't be surprised if he starts being mentioned in MVP discussions. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. That's the number one way to support me and help me continue making content. I'm going to be uploading every day for the month of December, so if you guys don't want to miss a video, go ahead and subscribe while you're here. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting my content. I'll see you in the next one.